Well, thanks, Mike. Like I said, I am now joined by a man that really got me into the recruiting scene. Prime pick representation, Fourth Down Foundation, Texas Star 707. The list goes on of the organizations that Mike West has been a part of. Coach, thanks for coming on. So excited to have you here.
Hey man, I appreciate you for having me, Will, man. You know, you my guy. So, anytime I can rock with the people I vibe with, it's good energy for me. So I'm all for it, bro.
Of course, yeah. I mean, you've got so much knowledge about football, about academics, just everything in the realm that we talk about on VYPE Recruit Spotlight. So you are just about the perfect guest to have on. And Prime Pick representation. That was the first organization that I mentioned. You just launched that a couple weeks back. How did that come about, and what's your vision there?
Okay, yeah. So Prime PPR kind of came about. It's crazy how it organically just kind of happened because when I first started doing this, I really I really hadn't thought about going that far with it. I mean, I organically went to school to be an agent. Like when I was in college and I majored in sports management, my ultimate goal was actually like to be an agent. So everything just kind of came full circle. Talk about just trusting in God and like taking just taking the leap when He tell you to move and being obedient. Everything just kind of came full circle with the NIL and the need for grassroots athletes to really need representation and really need somebody guiding them, helping them build their brands up and build their stock and build their value. So it pretty much, just came organically, like I said. And what PPR is, it is a grassroots representation brand. We help kids build their brands. We help them develop their performance so that they can actually have a brand, and we guide them through the process. And, beyond that, the next step is, hey, I am an athlete that needs representation. I am an athlete that needs to maximize my name, image, and likeness. Where do I go to from there? Where do I go from there? My family, maybe in a totally different realm of life, and they're not specialized in this market right here, in this particular niche. So, there's a need. So that's pretty much, where it came to, and it's natural for me. I, went to school to be an agent. I used to be, in the entertainment industry. I was a promoter. I did concerts. So all this is like easy for me. Like people that really know me know like I've been like, moving like this. I've been like, in the mix and all this kind of stuff. So like this is just, like I said, ultimately it's just an organic thing that kind of happened.
Yeah, like you said, you've been on the business side for more than a decade now, but you had a pretty wild road, from high school on. You were a guy with, FBS offers, and because of, academic and eligibility problems, were forced to, not be able to take that route, and you went to Hampton. That being said,
Yeah.
how do you think that has influenced the way that you see kids as, not only as athletes but as students, as sons, as brothers? How do you think your experience having those struggles early on in your life affected your role now?
Again, like I want to reiterate, I think it just organically happened because honestly, I got away from football when I got into the nightlife for a minute. I was still coaching. But I really can't. I was like, this comes so easy for me. I kind of was like half in it, half in it. Like when I was involved in it, I was all in. But once I like turned the light off and turned the switch off and was like doing something with the nightlife, I really just kind of saw. Therefore, I really wasn't full throttle, like going hard for this. And it really is my calling. Is honestly my calling is where I'm supposed to be because of what you just said. Like my story, you know, being an athlete, being a football player, having interest, having offers, not taking, the academic side of this serious. I was always a respectable kid, but just like building my character and all that kind of stuff that I found out it affects you at the next level. The higher you go up, all that kind of stuff, you know, lack of discipline, whatever it may be, it affects you. And you know, everybody's good the higher you go up. So you may be this whatever athlete in high school, but then once you go to college, everybody's good. Then, you know, once you go to the NFL, it's like everybody's a pro. You know what I mean? So uh, you just kind of needed to have a little bit more development outside of actually the athlete. You needed like mental help, you needed decision making skills, you needed financial literacy. There's just a lot of things that I learned in the lessons that I had, you know, going through the business. So, you know, that's kind of where everything came full circle for me of this just being natural. You know what I mean? It's just really something that's natural. I'm not forcing it. It's not a gimmick. It's not like me trying to put on a persona for to get money. Like it's just naturally, you know, my story, you know, my passion, and you know, it's just what I live for.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly what you live for. Every single day of the year, you're promoting Texas football, you know, high school football across the country. Uh, you made the switch a few years back to go your own way. Why did you think that was necessary, not only from a personal standpoint, but from a community standpoint too?
Yeah, I honestly think I just got to the point where like I'm one of these people where like I don't open up much and people tell me I need to start doing more like podcasts and like all this other kind of stuff. But naturally, like it really I'm good at it when I do it, but I'm really just a laid back, super chill person. So, you know, I haven't really opened up much about this. Like you're really getting like a exclusive Will T exclusive. Like I've never went on the record to talk about this, but just to be, you know, like brief, you know, I got to the point where I felt like, you know, I dream big and I want to be super impactful beyond just some of the boxes that education kind of put me in, like meaning like, you know, when you're coaching at a high school, are you doing, you know, you're under any position, any salary under a specific high school or specific district, they kind of want you focused on that. Like if it's not, you know, it needs to be about these students at this school, right? And I just felt like I kind of, you know, I think I feel like I always bumped head with like leadership just because, you know, it would be moments where they felt like I wasn't all in because I had other stuff going on too, or I had been told that it was a conflict of interest in one position, one of my last positions. When I kind of figured out, I was like, you know what, this is not really what I thought it was gonna be. Once I got to this like higher position, and you know, the people in control, you know, the superiors told me like what I was doing was kind of a conflict of interest, right? And I was like, you know what? If that's the case, I'm gonna do my own thing. You know what I mean? So I just got to a point where I want to impact more people than just the 300, 400, 500, 1,000 kids at that one particular school. You know, I really want to impact any kid that's going through this process and can benefit from my story from a nationwide aspect. I want to be able to help them. I want to be able to service them, and I want to be able to mentor them. So that's what we've been able to build, you know, over the 5 years that I've, you know, been doing this. So, you know, that was my reason for doing it. I just kind of felt like I was boxed in, and then I was still teaching. I was still in a teaching position. And actually, before I got out of education, I'll just say this, I may go back to education because I love it so much, right? But I just wanted to do my own thing for a minute. But the pandemic hit, and once the pandemic hit, everything went virtual. So I just kind of was like, you know, at the time, um, I was still in Houston and my daughter was in Atlanta, so I just decided to move to Atlanta. And I was like, I'm gonna just rock out and do my own thing and, you know, bet on myself. You know, I'm a bet on me. Always I'm a bet on me. And I just, you know, jumped out there and I started grinding. Like, so that's just pretty much how it happened, man. It was me, Jaleel Johnson, um, you know, Coach Al, my OC, and KB Bennett, Beast, the B Squad, that was who I just kind of started rocking with, and we just been grinding. Everybody in their own little lane grinding, and we just been putting in work, and we all been growing and building our brands, and now we just in a position to. I feel comfortable like starting the PPR brand, and when I get people in, I know we can deliver a great product. So, it's been beautiful, man. I ain't gonna lie and say it's been peachy 100% of the time. And that's kind of my story that I want to give to kids. Just, having somebody that's then actually bet on themselves, that's then worked in the corporate world, in the educational professional realm, all that kind of stuff, man. I've been a teacher, I've been a coach, I've been an entrepreneur, and I've experienced a lot. So I want to be able to get that to the kids.
Yeah, I mean, uh, like you said, you've had a pretty unique road in the sense that you've seen this from every single standpoint, as an athlete, as a
That's
coach, as a
true.
teacher, as an entrepreneur. And then here the last 5 years, there's been a lot of changes. I could ask you the easy question and say, what's been the biggest change in the last few years? You could say NIL, you could say the transfer portal. What do you think the biggest change in mindset has been from both sides, from recruits and from programs?
I'll say probably the most impactful change that I'll say probably has occurred is just the shift in the virtual space. And most people don't really understand the virtual space. And when I say that, meaning like the evolution of how things, actually go, right? And how things actually exist in that space. A lot of people don't evolve. And so a lot of people, I think a lot of people weren't prepared for the um need to be savvy in the virtual space, meaning branding, marketing, being comfortable getting in front of cameras and actually promoting yourself. I noticed that a lot of kids just don't do it, and they don't know where to start. They don't, have an interest in it. And a lot of parents don't know where to start and what to do, and they may not have an interest in doing it. Change is very uncomfortable. So change is uncomfortable. And so I think a lot of people just weren't prepared for that, because when I say that, meaning you're gonna have to be good at that now with the way recruiting is going. Like it's harder now, right? I mean, for you to be a high school kid, you gotta be above average, you gotta be elite, like superior um to the competition, or you pretty much just in a position where you're just in the middle of the pack. And being in the middle of the pack, you have no value in high school recruiting in terms of like FBS programs and stuff, like the programs that kids dream about being in. It's gonna be very hard for them to get into those programs now, just because of the transfer portal, aka the free agency. What I mean? Like that's just where it is right now. So I say that's probably the biggest change, and that's really what led me to be proactive about starting this brand, is because it's gonna be a huge need. Like, people don't even realize how much they're actually going to need, stuff like this. It's starting to hit people now, because the kids and the parents are like, oh man, they sleeping on me, they're not recruiting, and it's just like, dude, they're focused on guys that can play now. They going into the transfer portal, man. So that's just where things are at, versus like, when I came into it, it was like, they were still recruiting kids heavy in high school. I mean, it was like, when I came into the game, like, if you had the young studs, they pretty much held the most stock. You know what I'm saying? Like, the freshmen, the upcoming freshmen, the sophomores, like, they would probably jump on them and offer them before, the kids who was like the seniors or the rising seniors. That's kind of how the game, and that still exists somewhat. But right now, it's like, man, we need kids that can play right now. They just need a good fit, and they can come over here and be impactful and help us win. That's kind of where it's went. So it's been a huge shift. I mean, it's been a huge shift in recruiting, and it's gotten a lot harder for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll just stick on the transfer portal. I've got a quote right here from a tweet I saw a few days ago. It said, recruiting is no longer the lifeblood of college athletics. Retention is. So you see a lot of your guys, a lot of guys
It's
that
true.
you've worked with and just across the state that say, man, the transfer portal is killing me. It's killing me. It's killing my friends. Uh, First of all, what's your view on that quote? And then your view on guys like that say, if the portal is just, if they're grabbing guys out of the portal, I'm not going to have an opportunity. Do you think that's true?
I don't know. It's just, my mentality is different. You know what I'm saying? Like, just being raised how I was raised, where I come from, you know what I mean? Like, it's always about the pivot. It's not really about like what the problem is and complaining about the problem. Is all about the pivot. Like, so if you complaining, you're not evolving. If you complaining, you're not figuring out how to pivot, how to adjust, how to maneuver. So, that's kind of my whole mentality and perspective on that. Is just like, if you complain and you're not figuring out how to beat the system, and that's just what it is. Like, now you gotta outmarket. You gotta outmarket the recruiting industry. You know what I'm saying? You gotta promote yourself and you gotta get yourself in front of people. You gotta grind. You gotta do whatever everybody else not willing to do. You gotta invest hours into your Twitter, learning how to Twitter, learning how to work Twitter and brand yourself on there. You can't just sit back and like, expect somebody to come find you. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. And everybody, oh, I'm slept on, da da da. Like, but you ain't grinding. You ain't on the road. You ain't, washing cars to save up money to catch a mega bus and go to this camp. Like, that's just the stuff I've seen kids doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the grind you gotta have about yourself. Now it's like, if you're an average kid, they not just, you know what I'm saying, coming to chase you down. Like, you gotta make these people respect you. You gotta put yourself in their face. You gotta be, you know what I'm saying, be resilient. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just where the game is, man. If you ain't a 5-star, 4-star type kid, you gotta be out here just grinding. You know what I'm saying? Like, I give you a prime example. Dave, you know what I'm saying? Dave, man, I love Big Dave. You know what I'm saying? Like, next time you talk to Dave, tell Dave he need to be over here with me. He need to be in my camp. He a hustler, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to get paid. You want to get this money. You know what I'm saying? You want to beast this industry. I like Dave. He's a perfect candidate for PPR. You know what I'm saying? Dave gonna get that sack whether he in football or not. You know what I'm saying? Dave is gonna position himself with his football value, and he's gonna leverage that for business. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of kid you have to be like David. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be out here grinding. I saw him almost at every camp last summer. You remember? He was almost at every camp. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Grinding, putting himself out there, networking with the news stations. And that's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. So you can't complain about where it's at right now. You gotta adjust, learn the game, and that's my motto. You know what I'm saying? I don't make the rules. I just learn the game, and I and I win at the game. You know what I mean? That's just what it is.
Well, talking about David, that's a great lead in to the next thing that we were going to talk about is you went back up to East Lansing. You were there with Andrew Marsh a couple months back, and now you went up there for their spring game with DJ and with Ruben Owens. Talk to me about what that program's doing and what the shift is like there.
Uh, like I said, I've been around 5 years now, and it's recruiting has gotten a little tougher for me now, in the sense of, when I talk to Ruben's dad all the time about this. It's just like, I've seen a lot, and I've been to visited a lot of places, and for me, it's like, I'm not really excited to go and just go see the same thing over and over and over and over and over. You know what I mean? So, like, I haven't been a lot of places. I haven't been typically to like the UTs, the Texas A&Ms a lot, like locally in state. because I done that so much over the years. It's kind of like, let me just see what else is out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't tell my kids to be versatile and be open-minded and look for the best fit if I'm not doing that. So a couple years ago, I just kind of got on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, getting out here, seeing what else is out here on the trail. Who's looking for Texas kids? What programs have guys in the building that I feel like is going to help the kids grow. And that's pretty much, what I felt at Michigan State. I feel like they putting a great staff together. They have a great staff there. I have some mutual relationships on the staff that I didn't know about until afterwards. And I feel like they just, they putting it together. They're putting a great flow of a staff together. Everything's kind of flowing and it feels organic. And for me, that's important, dog, because I'm not really like, you know what I mean? Like the dog and pony show stuff ain't really for me, you know what I mean? Like I can't really just, sit there and just like, it's like I gotta feel some authentic vibes. It's just cause I don't know, that maybe it's how I'm raised. I don't know. Like it's just me. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So if I ain't feeling the vibes and I ain't feeling, what I'm saying, like the energy, I'm not really trying to, rock with it no more. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. And I'm gonna go support my kids, wherever my kids decide to go or our kids decide to go, I'm gonna support them. But yeah, I don't get into that. But it's, in terms of me, like I just can't pull up if it ain't a vibe, you know what I mean? So, that's kind of how the Michigan State situation was. It was just a vibe when I went out there. So I was like, man, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? In my, the boys came out there, they vibed out and they had a good time from what they say. So it's been a good deal. It's been a good deal with Michigan State. I'm proud of my boy BT. You know what I mean? My boy BT got it out the mud. He was out in the trenches, like just before he came to Houston. He went to Dallas and then he came to Houston. And we linked up as soon as he came to Houston. I was doing the Adrian Peterson camp at the time. I needed a D-line coach. You know what I'm saying? My boy was a beast. And it was up ever since then. Me and him, we've been tight ever since then. You know what I'm saying? Like I always, put him on stuff. He always put me on stuff, and we just rocked out. So, man, they took a chance on my dog, man. So, I'm super happy for him. And a lot of people may not say this, but you know me, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna give you the trill spill. You know, I respect Mel Tucker a lot. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people wouldn't have took a chance on my dog BT. You know what I'm saying? Like they know he one of the best D-line trainers in the nation. Everybody see him grinding. Everybody see him, putting in work, getting NFL pros, together, and they vibing with him. So, it's kind of hard to say how can he not be an asset to somebody's program? But we understand the parameters and the barriers we have. And I applaud Mel Tucker, you know what I mean, for taking the chance on him and his staff for taking the chance on BT, man. And they're going to benefit greatly from getting somebody like him on their staff as they already have, you know what I'm saying? By, naturally he good people. So good people want to go and support him. So that was another part of us going to Michigan State is like that's our guy. So we pulling up to go support our guy, you know what I'm saying, and support the movement. And more coaches should look into doing that, you know what I'm saying, instead of boxing us out and always trying to put us in recruiting positions. We really sick with it out here when it comes to developing these kids and building relationships with these kids and getting the most out of these kids because we relate to them. So, I applaud Mel Tucker and his staff for taking a chance on a guy like BT. And it's up. It's up. I know my bro gonna turn up. I know Michigan State finna turn up because you got that swag in there. You know what I'm saying? It's just like people can try to carbon copy the culture, but when it's real culture, you feel it. You know what I'm saying? And like they gonna turn up. They gonna turn up. I'm proud of them.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit earlier on in the show. That not only is he a huge asset as a coach and a guy that will develop your defensive lineman, but as a guy that has connections all across the country, will he'll know, guys like DJ coming into that program, and many more that have connections with players that he's trained. So, shout out to Coach BT Jordan for getting that position, and hopefully he's the first of many that are able to make that jump
Facts.
from a private level to a collegiate level.
Nah, big
So
facts.
we saw, you were there last week, and they made up a graphic for you. They were really on the media side, like you were talking about. It seems like they've got all the tools right now. What do they need to do in your mind to have a cycle like A&M did last year, or to have a cycle like Alabama's had the last 15 years? What is that determining factor that makes Michigan State a leader in recruiting?
And see, what I think, the reason why I think Michigan State is gonna win is because, to go back to my point, it's not a dog and pony show. It's not really like, hey man, put on this whole show, you know what I'm saying? Let's get them in here, and when we gone, it's something different. You know what I mean? It's really like, that's what you see is the culture there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really have, like, you got, like, my dog BT, he's like me. He has to be able to be himself. And what's going to happen with BT is BT is going to get more polished up, obviously, because he's going to get experience in the professional side of the game, and he's going to get more polished up. But BT gonna be him. And see, when you got people that can be themselves, you know what I'm saying, the kids relate to that. What's happening with these kids, there's a lot of disconnect in these programs. They don't relate to the people that's coaching them, man. So that's why you having a lot of turnover. And that's just my opinion from what I've been, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it's people that's in charge, but it really ain't no relatability in a lot of situations. So kids do get lost, in the shuffle, and kids do fall by the wayside. Because one thing about our kids, man, kids know when you're not keeping it a book. Kids know when you trying to, what I'm saying, play them, when you trying to handle them, and mentally a lot of them check out. And it's just, that's the challenge that a lot of them don't realize they're gonna face at the next level. It's a mental game, you know what I'm saying? It's more than you just playing ball. It's a psychological and a mental aspect of the game that affects you when you do have a coach that, you know, isn't as patient with you as, somebody may have need. It's just, it's more business. It's short, it's brief. It's, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we're gonna give you a little time. Oh, you ain't got it. Hey, we're gonna use you up as long as we can, on to the next one. So, I think Michigan State is gonna be fine, just because they got dudes like BT and some of the other, Coach Reed, and some of the other guys that are in there that's just keeping it a book. They just keep it in the book, and plainly put, that's what a lot of these kids want and they need, is just people that can just keep it a buck with them, you know what I'm saying, to help them develop and tell them what they need to hear. And that goes to, another point about where recruiting is. If you're a high school recruit, you need to be getting with somebody now that is going to tell you the truth, and gonna tell you have deficiencies, even if you don't want to hear it. Hey man, you need to fix this. You need to fix your character. You need to fix your your mechanics. You need to do this. You need to have people telling you that, because with the transfer portal now, it's just like, they a little, less patient with you, because, hey man, let's get him out of here. Let's go on the portal. Let's find somebody else who's looking for the right fit. you know, and that's why you're seeing all the shuffling in the portal, because it's a whole industry now of everybody's just looking for the right fit. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't no more, it may be me. It's just like, hey, okay, well, this ain't a good fit. I can't do this here. Man, somebody else gonna take me, so let me just go on the portal. Somebody else would be happy to have me, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just, it's a big shuffle, but that's kind of where we at now, bro. And I think Michigan State is gonna be fine as long as they just keep doing what they doing, and they just keep it a buck with these kids, man, and just tell them the truth. Now, every kid may not feel like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, but ultimately, I think that's what's gonna, help them have a big surge. I think they're gonna have a big surge because of that, and that's not going on in a lot of places if we just keeping it real. They not keeping it a buck with these kids in a lot of cases. Some cases it's the kids not maturing up, not, understanding the professionalism that it takes to sustain in this industry when you get at that level. Some of it is them, but a lot of it is just, they not keeping it 100 with them kids once they get there and they just checking out. So
yeah, I mean, we see that it's not just one thing when you're talking about making these college football dynasties. It's not going to be just the NIL opportunities or the nice facilities and the cool jerseys. It's not just going to be the job security from the coaches and making sure that your guys enter the portal. It's putting that all together. So it seems like what you're saying is Michigan State is going to have to do every single thing right if they want to make it to that next level.
Yeah, for sure. Especially, they playing catch up, obviously, programs like, Bama, UGA, Ohio State, those are programs that are strong. Those are programs that have systems in place that are proven and are work. No matter what you say about the program, those are big machines. You know what I mean? Like, it may not be a good fit for somebody, but there's gonna be a lot of top players that want to go and jump in that machine and just be a part of that. So, those are hard. Those are programs that you're gonna have to work to not only establish yourself on that level, but stay there. I mean, the biggest thing is people got to evolve, man. That's what's wrong with some of our programs that are strong and traditionally been power programs, and you kind of starting to see them, lose a little steam, is because you got to evolve, man. You can't be stuck in your ways saying we're going to continue to do this a certain way, man. That's why, I give Nick credit too. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything ain't perfect, but there's a balance and there's some evolving going on. You know what I'm saying? You look at Bama offense, you know what I'm saying? It's then changed. It's a lot more explosive than it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, now it's like you playing Bama, shit, whoever get the ball last. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it's been. Whoever get the ball last gonna win. So it wasn't like that a few years ago with Bama. You know what I mean? So I'm just using certain examples to say, you have to evolve. You can't be stuck in your ways, man. Nobody is above evolution. You know what I mean? Like, everything evolves, nothing stays the same, whether it goes up, down. You gotta flow with it. You know what I'm saying? So if Michigan State does that, which they already got the sauce, they got culture, you know what I'm saying? And they went 11-2 last year, I think, with the kids he had just got. So, they gonna get some more improved kids. So, I mean, I'll see. We'll see. You know what I mean? I think they gonna make some noise. You know what I'm saying? Hey, remember I said this interview. We're gonna keep this interview. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't too sure at first, last season, but after like getting more internal and like, just building, a relationship, I think they're on the verge of building some, we'll see. But I tell you what, I like Coach Tuck. I like the staff. I would want to play for Coach Tuck. And I know if I would want to play for Coach Tuck, a lot of other kids want to play because that's not easy for me to say, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, just having that dynamic of a coach that, like, I'm like, okay, I can play for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see myself playing for him. And I played for my college coaches in the Hall of Fame. Even though I went to Hampton, Coach Joe Taylor's in the Hall of Fame. You can come down here to Atlanta, you'll see him on one of the displays. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I didn't play for a GOAT. You know what I'm saying? And, we had a bunch of NFL players to come through there. And it's no coincidence that, having a coach like that is that people, can play for, it helps.
Yeah, absolutely. So now we can go ahead and move to some of the guys that you have now. We've mentioned you've got guys like Ruben and DJ that are going to have just about every single program in the country to choose from. But you've got the Texas Stars national squad up this week. Who are some of the guys that we should be looking out for this weekend?
So yeah, we gonna be back on the road actually in May. We're gonna jump back out for the Los Angeles tournament. We won't be live this weekend now. We're gonna wait until May. So in May, we're going to Southern California or California, and we're gonna play in the Shock Doctor tournament, they last tournament. But yeah, man, it's been great, man. I've been kind of on the road, and our kids are getting ready for spring ball and taking some unofficial visits. So we kind of took a little break to let them get out and take some unofficial visits before their spring ball. So they develop some relationships with coaches as they come in town. And then they'll have some relationships with them going into June when they go to camp. So that's pretty much, why we took a little break. But I'm excited about our team this year, man. Like I didn't know how it would go. And I'm very meticulous and intentional about the kids that I go and try to get. I pretty much how I do things, whatever kids come out, try out, you know what I'm saying? I take those kids and I try to piece them and see where I think they will fit in our program identity wise. And we put a plan together for them. Some, executed, some put in the effort more than others, but that's what we do. So I'm excited about our team this year. I'm excited about, I was very concerned with, I'll go on the record. I was very concerned with replacing Tanner Murray. Tanner Murray is a generational quarterback. Um, you know, UTSA I don't want to say they got a steal, but they're getting a great kid. They're getting a great talent. And I was very concerned because I was just like, there's no way we're gonna replace Tanner. I was just like,
Mhm.
I actually was trying to get him to play this year. I was like, man, we're gonna go to some tournaments and they'll let unsigned kids play, man. Let's do it. But I will say, man, Denham Johnson surprised me. Denham surprised me a lot. I didn't know he was that good. I did know Denham was nice because Denham had came to one of my camps and I think middle school and won MVP. So I knew he was good, but I didn't know Denham was as good as he is. I would say that Denham is the truth. Denham is the truth, man. I call him baby Kyler Murray, man. C King is gonna be in good hands this year with Denham behind under center. So Denham, obviously, Jacoby is a problem. You know what I mean? Jacoby is a problem. He's been able to help himself this offseason even more, just put himself out there as a receiver because a lot of programs are concerned about him playing receiver because he don't have a lot of receiver film. So we made a value effort to make sure they understand that Jacoby Banks is one of the best wide receivers in the nation, hands down. Period. It's not even debatable. Just click on the film, and it speaks for itself. Man, Rando Funno, DB that's been picking up offers like crazy. Uh, Quarterback for his high school as well, athlete. He came out the first day and went to quarterback at tryout, and excuse my French, I was like, man, get your A on the defensive side of the ball. Don't even come over here no more. So he's been able to develop a little bit with Jaleel Johnson and pick up some offers. I feel like I'm at a war show. I'm trying not to forget nobody. Caleb, I already said Rando. Who else we got? Andrew Marsh, 2025. Andrew Marsh 2025 is going to be a great one out of Katie Jordan. And we got some sleeper kids too, man. We got some kids that, just a good ball player. CJ Sweeney out of Shadow Creek. He's been great for us this season. Dwayne Harris. Dwayne Harris is a kid that was a developmental kid that came to us. He's at Seed King as well. DJ, he's coming along as well. I got a kid named Dean. We got studs, you know what I'm saying? We got studs. And I think you saw that at the tournament, at the Shock Doctor tournament, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody was able to see it. We don't do all the capping and all that other kind of all the theatrics, man. We just get to work. We just play and we ball. And everybody saw it. Everybody like, oh, they went against the Cali Stars and almost beat the Star. I'm like, this is what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter who we playing against, whatever big names, whatever. Our kids gonna play hard, man. You know, win, lose, or draw, by however many points our kids gonna. When we locked in and we ready to go in the tournament, you know, that's just what we do. You know what I'm saying? We could play when my team is fully staffed. We'll play any team in the nation. We'll play them and we'll compete against them if it's some like real football being played. Because some of these tournaments, they just out there, you know, for WWE or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about real football tournaments where we playing ball. We gonna line up and we gonna compete against, you know, any team in the nation. So I feel good about our team and what we've been able to do this year. A lot of guys been able to put themselves out there. A lot of guys then picked up offers. A lot of guys then developed, and they're gonna be ready to ball come this June in some camps. You already see some of our kids picking up MVPs. Tayshawn, our lockdown corner. You know what I'm saying? He been grinding with us for 2 years, 3 years. You know, Tay got out the mud. Tay didn't. What you see right now with Tay, he didn't start out that way. Tay grind. Tay put in work nonstop to work for where he's at right now. He's a 4-star, should be a 4-star All-American, one of the best cornerbacks in the nation. And you find me a receiver, he'll line up with him and compete. I don't care who he is. He the best cornerback that I done seen. And that's just me. I'm not even being biased. Check the stats. He done won with 4 MVPs at the camps, Under Armour, the All-American camp in San Antonio. I mean, it seemed like every camp he go to, he win MVP. You know what I mean? 4-star. So, you know, a lot of people try to say the size because Tay is short. You know, he's shorter than, you know, he ain't 6'3" or whatever. But look at the 5, you know, you had a kid from Cali, the 5-star that's been snagging one hands on there. You know, he locked him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't throw the jump ball on Tay. You can't throw the 50-50 jump ball on him. If you beat him, you better put it on the money because he got closing speed. You know, he run mid-10s. You know, so he straps. You know what I mean? One of the best cornerbacks in the nation. So that's just a quick snapshot of, you know, who we got on the team. I may be missing a few, but you know, that's you know, pretty much the core guys on the team, man. And we're excited about what we've been able to do this year. Shock Doctor, big shout out to Shock Doctor. They brought us on this year, and I'm sure they didn't think we was gonna be this popping. You know what I mean? But yeah, we rocking with Shock Doctor, man. Shock Doctor Houston, that's the movement. We gonna turn it up some more next year. Shock Doctor got a facelift in H-Town, man. You know what I'm saying? We came through, we turned it up, and we put on like Houston supposed to do. And we gonna take it up a notch. We got some big stuff planned for Shock Doctor next year. We already planning for it. We're gonna take it up a notch. And I'm gonna reload the team again next year with some dogs. They ain't even gotta be popular. As long as you're a dog, we're gonna drip you out and we're gonna go turn up. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the 7-on-7 world, man. I'm excited about 7-on-7, man. You got a lot of stuff going on. The overtime league coming up. You know, Shock Doctor's ready to come back next year. Shock Doctor got the best 7-on-7 tournament circuit to me. I just feel like they the most balanced. I feel like you're gonna get some drip and you're gonna be it's controlled enough for you to like really get work. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of these tournaments, it's just too crazy, bro. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's too much, bro. Like, it's too many theatrics. I ain't knocking it, you know, it's something for everybody, you know what I'm saying? But I like Shock Doctor because I think Shock Doctor is ran the best. It's the most balanced in terms of the content you can get media-wise, the content they produce, the swag. You know what I mean? Like, it's a great balance. I'll put it like that. So if you haven't been to a Shock Doctor tournament, man, you missing out. You know what I'm saying? Next year, they're gonna adjust in terms of the locations a little bit. I can't go into details because, you know, they haven't finalized it, but we're gonna make sure it's in popping cities. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna change that. So, you know, Shock Doctor is up, man. You know, we here. That's the new brand.
Yeah, I mean, you're a great plug for anyone you work with, whether that's, you know, a company like Shock Doctor or any athlete that you've ever worked with. And I remember a few months back, we were at the tryouts, and to be honest, I think You were a little scared. I think some of the other guys were scared. You know, we knew you'd have Tayshawn, you'd have Jacoby, uh, but that first tryout didn't look like you were going to have the greatest team. And then we find a guy like Carter Holmes, you know, white kid with red hair who comes out there and just lights up just you know, everyone he sees. So it seems like somehow you always put together some kind of team.
Nah, facts. Facts. I don't know how I mean, it's God's grace, you know what I'm saying? Cause I really don't be out here like on some real, I don't be out here like super, super recruiting like I could. You know what I mean? Like I really don't be targeting like every top 5-star, every top 4-star. Like every 4-star, 5-star that have played for us was a kid that I've been with since like they were in the 7th grade type. And they're like family to me. You know what I mean? Like I really don't go out here and target 4-star, 5-star kids. You know what I mean? Now, as we evolve, we're gonna start get to, a lot of kids are gonna start, wanting to play for our team. But another reason I don't do that is because it's hard to play for me. It's hard to play for a coach like me because, I coach. I mean, I coach for real. Like, it ain't no all the craziness that be going on and all that. If you ain't making no plays, bro, it ain't all that dancing and all that other kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't really feeling that. Like, let's get to it. Let's get straight to it. Let's make plays. Let's compete. Let's ball. Like, and that's where it starts with, starts at with me. And if that ain't going on, I'm not really comfortable with all the dancing and theatrics. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's kind of where every kid is not a good fit for me because a lot of kids just want to do that. And that, if you ain't really coming to compete and make plays and control yourself and, have some civilizations and, you know what I'm saying, and character, then you ain't a good fit for me. So that's why I don't go out because a lot of kids just don't fit for us. So we go for the kids like Carter and just the kids that show up at the tryout. Majority of our team is from the tryout actually, and we just coach them up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just when I look at it, we be like, damn, bro. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my French, but that's just kind of, how we look at it sometimes be like, man, we gonna figure it out. That's just like Kentucky. We had 8 kids in Kentucky, man. We had 8 kids in Kentucky. We went to California like the week before or like 10 days before. And a lot of kids couldn't make it to Kentucky. It was crazy expensive because of inflation. And I was just like, man, we going to turn up. Whoever come, we going to turn up. You know what I'm saying? And we had 8 kids show up, only 2 receivers, and like our DBs loved it because our DBs was playing receivers, so they were like having the ball. So and we almost went to we was like 1 play away from the semifinals. Literally came down to the last play of the game. So it's like, we just coach our kids up, man. We play hard and we believe we can win any game. And that's just what a kid is going to get from us beyond pictures and dancing and like all that kind of stuff. And we trying to get recruited. We trying to get recruited. So if you ain't making no plays, a lot of, some programs that be doing that, like some of them be doing that and you look up and they ain't even in the mix, you know what I'm saying, for championship game. It's like, that's a waste. I ain't come out here to be dancing and taking pictures, you know what I'm saying? Like we trying to win. We trying to make plays. So, that's just ultimately like us, man. And so we put that on our kids. Our kids responded. And this year they buying in, the ones that we had a lot of them buy in. And so we've been very successful this year. And I'm proud of our kids. We got great parents. We have amazing parents that's been supportive and helping us throughout this season. We're a new program. We're only 2 years, man. We only been, less than 2 years. We started in December of 2021. Is when we started this organization, December of 2021. And we're probably like 14, 15 months in, you know what I mean? And we're respected as one of the top programs in the nation. And we didn't do that by just targeting every 4-star, 5-star kid. We done that by investing in our kids, developing our kids, and coaching them up, coaching them hard. So I'm excited about what we've been able to do and where we going with 7-on-7. And we shock doc as of now. We team shock doc, and we gonna turn it up even more next year.
Yeah, well, we know you're going to build up these guys. You're going to build up everything that you're involved in, and you're definitely going to build up the city of Houston, repping the screwed up click tonight. So
You already
I know
know.
that you don't do a lot of interviews, so I really appreciate you coming on. Got to get your insight on a lot of things that we've talked about before, and hopefully we'll get to talk about again soon. So
For
Mike West,
sure.
thank
For
you
sure.
very much for coming on, and I'll see you soon.
My pleasure. Hey man, my pleasure, Will. Hey, big shout out to Will. Hey, he the next man up. Been killing it, man. Hey, I just want to encourage you, man. Keep grinding, man. Keep doing what you're doing. You never know who's watching. And I'm proud of you too, man. VYPE got a superstar in the making. And I'm thankful for VYPE, you know, for allowing you to have this platform as well. And man, we're gonna do our best to support you, man, and make this thing pop even more. You know, we're gonna try to turn this one up. And you know, whoever I can get you on here, you know, I got you, bro. So keep balling, man. Keep putting on for the city.
Thanks again, Mike. I appreciate it more than you'll ever know. Let's go ahead and send it back to the show.
I appreciate it.